The third of the three keys to beating the Chargers: must block, exotic, minter blitzes, and handle pressure. So take us through that, what we see here.
Well, you're going to see right here, you're going to see just a five-man pressure here. So a five-man pressure, but what he does, when it starts over, you're going to see the linebacker coming up, right? So let's go on this one. This is what I'm breaking down. So if this is the top of the screen, you're going to see a twist by the Chargers. Now, as we go back to this first one, basically what Minter does, he's going to walk up the linebacker who you see blitzing late. That forces the left guard to stay there. What that really does is it gives you 5 for 5 up front, which means Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack have one-on-ones. Now they're going to overload a side, and they're going to twist. And what they do is they cover the center, and the center is late helping on the twist. So Jesse Minter, one of the things you have to do is that he likes these exotic blitzes, 4 over 3, 3 over 2, where he's going to align and leave gaps open. He's going to show linebackers at the line of scrimmage, but then really only bring 4 or 5. So the Browns have to figure out who they're blocking. They're going to look like they're bringing 6 or 7 on almost every play, especially on third down. So the first key would be to stay out of third down and long. Second key would be simplify your protection, maybe add a 6th or 7th offensive lineman or running back or tight end, and try to max protect a little bit. But you can't leave Bosa and you can't leave Mack one-on-one all game and expect to have success.
Yeah, and again, the Browns have had some issues picking up some of those twists and those stunts, and not as much last week. And maybe it's getting Teller back, having Conklin another week, and having Jones at left tackle. We'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot to do with continuity, and they really have struggled with twists and stunts, turning their shoulders. And when I watched the Raiders game, the Raiders really struggled with the guards turning their shoulder on the twist. And once you turn your shoulders and they're not parallel to the line of scrimmage, you cannot get back on these NFL guys. And these NFL guys just get by you. So what the Browns have to do up front is you have to see their numbers. As a quarterback, I want to see all my offensive linemen's numbers if I was to look down. Why? That tells me their shoulders are square and they're not giving up gaps, or they're not opening the door, we like to say, for a pass rusher. So their issues with twists and stunts have been who they have. And then fundamentally, how do they block it? So those are things that are coached, and those are things that you get better when you get your veterans back.
The other thing is they still haven't had, I know people were back, but it's 5 different guys again that were playing on the line. And you need some of that continuity because of what you're saying, picking up and communication and those kind of things.
Well, and everybody always thinks you have a week. In the NFL, obviously, there's a lot more meeting time. There's a lot more time on the field with walkthroughs. But really, in the NFL, especially since collective bargaining, there's really only a few days that you're out there. And there's never any days you're heavy. So really, there's only a couple days where you're on the field going through with live bullets and seeing those stunts and seeing those blitzes. You really want to get all that work in during training camp, and they didn't have these guys during training camp. So, yeah, there's some issues with communication. Hopefully getting Conklin, getting Jones over at the left tackle, getting Teller back inside, being more stout, helping with the run game physicality. But I think once they get together and they do this, they'll be fine. And again, it's knowing who you have first and making sure fundamentally your shoulders stay square, and then, being stout there so your quarterback can have some time to throw the football.